about 4 too many matches for the B Show. I'm John Ritlin with my review of AEW Dark, and yeah, 11 matches. They should have stuck with 6 to 8. I mean, I'm sorry, I know they're trying to feature more talents. They're trying to, get some traffic on their YouTube channel. That's great. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing, though. So, Excalibur, Veda Scott, and Taz on commentary, and then Ricky Starks joins after the third match. Fuego del Sol and Rembrandt Lewis versus Uno and Grayson. And commentary talks about masking hair gimmick infringement, and then a flatliner pins Fuego. I have made it clear that I do not like the Dark Order, despite the talent it is in the group, and I'm not going to spend time ranting about them when they're in filler matches like this. Uno and Grayson are not a bad team, let me say that much, as far as in-ring action. But the Dark Order gimmick is absolutely abhorrent. If it wasn't for the group that calls themselves Retribution, and whatever the fuck Katie Forbes is, the Dark Order would be the worst thing in wrestling, in my personal opinion. But yeah, Dark Order wins easily. Ricky Starks versus Christopher Daniels. Taz got a touch annoying on commentary. I get putting over his guy, but, it got a bit annoying when you're past being a heel commentator and just doing whatever the fuck Taz is doing. And he was also referencing his, in-ring career. Back when he had somewhat of a command of the English language, which was almost 20 fucking years ago. Daniels is still really goddamn good. I was a little bit worried when he did the moonsault, dropped his legs off the ropes and sprung off of it. A bit weird. I thought he was going to fall on his head. Thankfully, he didn't. Still, the guy performs tremendously well for being almost 50. Ricky Starks is a goddamn star. I've seen both these guys multiple times at indie shows. Very nice action, some good back and forth, and eventually we get a spear out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Ricky Starks doing his best Goldberg impression, and then he joins commentary. I say doing his best Goldberg impression. Starks actually wrestles long matches. Anyway, we then get Puff and Calvin Stewart versus the Butcher and the Blade with Eddie Kingston. Puff looked like a 2020 version of Rapmaster PN News, and I gave up. Full Death pinned Stewart. Thank God it wasn't Puff, because it probably would have killed the knees of the Blade. I'm not against people of all shapes and sizes wrestling, but this guy just did not look like he was comfortable in the ring at all. This was not good. I did not like this at all. Let me know if there's a match with this guy I should check out, but I saw nothing here that made me want to see this guy wrestle again. And by the way, in case you don't know who he is, he's the big fat guy that showed up pretending to be Kip Sabian's best man before Miro made his debut. That guy. I believe it's that guy. They look the same. Maybe they're cloned in a lab. I don't know. And then we get Serpentico with Luther versus Will Hobbs. Will Hobbs has something. Luther screams. Serpentico is not that bad. And a spinebuster 1, 2, 3. There you go. Will Hobbs wins. Now, Serpentico hit some good moves, but Will Hobbs no doubt was going to go over. And I see big things for Will Hobbs, especially by this time next year. It's going to be a slow build with him. Don't push him too fast. Don't go Ahmed Johnson here, even though, even on his worst day, he is better than Ahmed Johnson on his best day. But build it slow, and Will Hobbs has something. So, we get Dante Smiley and Max Stardom versus Lucha Bros, getting a lot of pyro. So much goddamn pyro. It's like they have a quota they need to fill and use it all with the Lucha Bros. And Eddie Kingston was also there. We get a stomp, to the groin, and Stark says no kids for him. And then a package driver 1, 2, 3. Smiley and Stardom aren't that bad. I need to see maybe a little bit more what they could do with guys that are kind of their style. Lucha Bros, you need to have their match really to make it anything good. And that's not knocking them, but as far as Lucha, you need to do their moves. And then we get Ryzen and Xander Gold, who it sounds like, a character from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, doing a hit gold record, versus 5 and 10 the Dark Order. Oh boy, a second Dark Order match. A stomp and a power slam for 3. Pins gold. Who the fuck cares about the Dark Order? I don't. People do, that's fine. I'm just not going to rant on them, especially when it comes to short, matches like this. And when I don't give a shit about the gimmick, why in the world am I going to, waste my time? So we get Kevin Blackwood and Daniel Garcia versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. Janela is rotten. Sonny Kiss actually has something, at least has a good athletic background. Blackwood and Garcia are not that bad either, and the diving split leg 1, 2, 3, and Sonny Kiss gets the victory. Janela is fucking shit and should not be re-signed by AEW. I don't want the guy to not be able to earn a living, but him being on a major wrestling broadcast of any description is fucking embarrassing. When there are guys like Jacob Fatu, Alexander Hammerstone, I don't even know Hammerstone's been on some big programs, but Jacob Fatu and various others, you could be using talents like that, but no, you gotta have Joey Janela there. It's just fucking stupid. Billy and Austin Gunn with Colton Gunn. Man, Colton really looks like Billy. I mean, it's almost like a spitting image, like, cloned in a lab. They took Mbadu and Cruz. And I don't know why the commentary laughed when Cruz got introduced. And Badu actually has some good size. Billy pins Cruz with the famouser. So Billy Don't Call Me Gun, picking up a win on a wrestling program in 2020. Bit weird, this. KiLynn King versus Serena Deeb. Okay, finally, a women's match. The one women's match on the show. We don't need 50-50, but for fuck's sake, 11 matches, one women's match. You got Skylar Moore, you got others. I mean, don't put Shaul Guerrero in there. She's not a wrestler. But you have other women that you've used before. Red Velvet and you could use other women and just bring women on it. Give Penelope Ford a victory over Red Velvet or something. Just do something more with your women. For God's sakes. 2 matches out of these 11 could have been women's matches. I'm just saying, you could do a little more. I'm not saying the women's division is all that great, but for fuck's sake. Action was very good, though. KiLynn King has something. Has some size, has some ability. Very tall, has some good kicks. Serena Deeb, world-traveled veteran, and very, very good on the mat, and was her strikes, and got the Serena lock for the win. So this was nice. It was a nice little match. What was really good was Lee Johnson versus Ben Carter. Great agility, great moves by both. Both guys did some nice mat wrestling first, and then took to the air, doing some nice dueling dives. This was really, really good stuff, and it was probably one of the best dark matches that they've had in a while that, didn't involve going like 30 minutes or 20, 25 minutes, because they had some of those in the early start, and it was really, really fucking shit. This was not all that bad. These two tore the house down, seemingly, and put on a good match. Signed both these guys. Why the fuck not? Lee Johnson's been featured a whole lot and has never won. Ben Carter's shown up pretty goddamn well, and they put on a pretty damn good match. Is it something that's going to be on my favorite matches of the year list? No, but it was a standout performance by both men on Dark. Eddie Kingston versus Brian Pillman Jr. Match was fine. Some good strikes. Eddie breaking the rules. Brian Pillman trying to come back. Hit some nice arm drags early on. And then eventually got hit with the spinning back fist. 1, 2, 3. And Eddie Kingston gets a victory. So there you go. 11 matches summed up in about 7 minutes. So, agree, disagree, what I said? Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.